down to Nerf, Lazarus, and Team Unlucky.
And I want to see who sends themselves home with those Christmas bonuses and exactly how big they are. We are getting into the very last game of the day, the last game of the weekend, and the last day before we go out for the holidays. So let's hype it up. Let's see what happens in this very last one. We are, of course, going to be waiting on where this zone ends up pulling and seeing if we get any more of this 50-50 action, because it has calmed down since the early stages. And for the most part, ULTM has largely relegated themselves up to survey camp, and it definitely worked out for them last game, getting them a nice strong end game position. They were able to work with pretty darn well, if you ask me. The thing is, Unlucky land nearby, and Unlucky are really hunting for kills.
Absolutely, and you can see just on the map, things are really spread out for the most part here. Team ULTM are able to find themselves a nice safe space, it seems like, finally not having to fight as soon as their feet touch the ground. And we have seen what that has meant for them, because that has gotten them to some later game rings. Cinnamon Toast, another team that is struggling today but still want to get points, get those points, keep going forward to the end of the season.
3 points overall so far today. Honestly, for their first appearance in a finals, not bad. Normally we see this go, quite honestly, a lot worse. And Cinnamon Toast have had their moments, although ultimately, like you say, going out in 20th most of the time. I'm by no means disappointed with a relatively new squad coming into Nerd Street, and it's only fair that I remind everybody at home that if you think that you can do better, then not just Cinnamon Toast, but any of the teams, that you can sign up for the Winter Champs that we've got going on, not just now, but all the way throughout here, and even the summer when it does roll around. Whatever time of year works best for you, you can head over to nerdstreet.com/events to figure out what your schedule looks like and whether you can come sign up to tango alongside the best, as we've been seeing all night.
Absolutely. Speaking of, we have some fights going on. Tag already getting into some fights here, as Flubbed is getting very low. That is not the person you want to see go down early.
Did get Cinnamon Toast Crunch pretty darn low. It was unsociability that was isolated, and well, Flubbed doesn't end up finding that kill. The idea, at least, I see. Tag now being the recipients of a Seer ult, and now a cancel on the heals as well. It's an inconvenience for Flubbed, but not one that should change too much. Tag are still relatively comfortable down here on the low ground and got themselves an exit strategy, it appears. Caustic round in the corner may have been a little bit too ambitious, but Soboy was left behind and ultimately taken down. Flubbed found the trade onto DJ FaZe, but now it's a 2-4-1, and oh my lord, that beam on the car plus the arc star turns everything around. Flubbed goes aggressive, doesn't find the knock, but it's now a 1v1, and he's going to start collecting the kills for his squad.
Yeah, ooh, but he ran out of ammo on one.
He's got it, last shot does it, 6 damage, and Flubbed sends himself home with a 1v2, and what looks like, well, almost a safe team. Unfortunately for them, took a little bit too long, and Tag may just be going out.
Yeah, Tag getting hit up by Unorganized, and Flubbed once again. How many times have we seen Flubbed just have to be the last person? Will just go down immediately here. So unfortunately, that is the end of the day for Tag. Had a couple of strong points, unfortunately going out in 19th, I believe. And now we are just going to check back in as M&K Assist are trying to go for a reposition here. Oh no, not again.
They just don't get to play anymore. Right here, dropping down to the ground. Roy saves himself for a little while longer, but this is going to be Splash coming up here. And while they have lagged behind their other partnered squad today, they are by no means weak and definitely want to show it. They push up onto MNK, 3 extraordinarily talented players, as we've talked about before. Ones that you'll certainly be familiar with via solo queue, and they see those names light up the feed. They know they want to take these kills, and that it will send a statement to the rest of the lobby that Splash are not to be messed with.
Absolutely, they're running the chase down, and Splash are looking to get some more points here. Should just be able to clean this up, although maybe gonna get a little bit of extra help from another squad, or can't tell if that's another squad or a teammate. Okay.
It's just MNK, it's his teammate, and well, Splash do end up losing one. The bubble and the space bot there, the knowledge that it is just the one teammate up on the high ground means that Splash get to finish off this kill on Crispy Bacon pretty darn easily. Phoenix will be able to heal up inside the bubble, and it will be squad reduced to a rat as MNK now, I believe, just have Yoroi alive.
Yeah, once again, another team that has had, you know, bits and pieces of success just starting to fall apart here, as it will just be M&K running one after an unfortunate Valk ult. Hurts them big time. Droolers sitting pretty in this fragment area, as we are going to see another team come in. Splash gonna get one taken down, but it is not all they're dealing with yet.
Instead, gonna have to jump out the side. It seems like working for now. We'll have Unorganized taking dominance over the top spot. We haven't really gotten an idea of where this ring is headed just yet, with so much crowding around Hot Springs, and with Unorganized taking Dorito Building, I can only imagine that we're going somewhere around staging, because that seems to be where a lot of the rotations are taking us.
Absolutely. Now, as Unorganized are going to feel pretty confident in their position so far. Have looted themselves up pretty strongly, and they have been able to keep the aggression on. We'll see. I want to get a check-in on some of our top three here, though, because those are the ones we really want to keep our eyes on and see what happens with that, because they are in competition, direct competition, to see who is going to come out on top today.
Right now, ooh, interestingly enough, a ring is not going towards staging. We just had a lot of edge teams fighting it out, and that may have faked some people out. It definitely did to me. Rivalries and Yoroi may encounter each other over by Landslide Tunnel. Should be interesting to see. However, the focus is ever going to be out towards that eastern side, where we already know that Unlucky landing very nearby an epicenter should be relatively safe. Droolers, however, having to make their way through Fragment, fortunately have the benefit of this Seer to get some data on who's ahead of them, but unfortunately have quite a lot of space to walk through with not a whole lot of mobility outside of this Ash.
Yeah, that is the one weak point of their composition. Underdogs also looking to get in into the same area here. Epicenter is going to be very highly contested for the next couple of minutes, and it does not provide a whole lot of cover outside of these icicles.
Ooh, almost 3-2 winning that. Underdogs nearly got a kill, but now using the Ash, they are going to rapidly reposition, get themselves close, and get a tether as well. So this is going to be a knock and the ensuing fight necessarily. Underdogs looking good for the moment to get the knock onto Saucy. That's 2 at this point, and it is just about finishing off that last one before the third party comes in.
Absolutely. Remember, they are making a lot of noise for themselves, so they need to be able to make this happen. Ooh, unfortunately, they will, or sorry, unfortunately for I Love Emo Girls, it is going to be Underdogs pulling that out quickly and getting all that delicious loot for themselves. So now we do check in, we see Shadow in a fight here.
Not looking too comfortable at the moment. This is iffy. Undefeated, though. Going to be sitting back. Well, EDG has to be the one to hold it down for his squad on this Seer, already so low. The shield that may just be the thing to keep him alive, but from the side, Wizard Coin ends up finding some nice damage, and Yoroi actually cleans him up with the L-Star. Now turn it around with the Mozam. He almost finds the kill, but once again, Wizard Coin cleans up the rest. Rejects managed to survive inside a Fragment, and this is exactly what you had to be worried about walking through a frag where so many teams can coexist and fight at the same time.
Absolutely. I love these zones, and it looks like it's going to get more so as we do check in with Nerf. No kills just yet here, but they are fighting a team and trying to get something going.
Be working for right now. Nerf moving themselves with a lot of confidence, and it makes sense with the zone at their backs. They have very little to fear. They've got what is a really nice path to take themselves up here as well. All the way from Lava Siphon, they had plenty of loot to grab, have managed to loot up the majority of Overlook, but the one thing they have to keep their eyes on is, of course, those resources they won't be able to dive back into the ring and get, that they can only grab through kills. And that means that Nerf have to keep their momentum going. Well, in the kill feed, they can see, we all can see, that Unlucky are getting that momentum started now.
Absolutely. So Nerf should be paying attention to that. They should be well aware that the pressure needs to get going now, because this poke battle, the longer this takes, the better it's going for Unlucky, and the worse it's going for Nerf. They need to get points to match.
Survive Noodles, oh my lord, up on this height. They also have the opportunity to take a game themselves. They've been rather quiet today. This was a squad that impressed just less than 24 hours ago, and with a really souped up longbow up top here, having those big mod weapons and free pot shots onto the low ground, it's really going to be Willie that is taking control of the lobby. If this ends up being a kill, not going to be. Doesn't look like. R301 not connecting on the way down. Survive Noodles still in a power position, especially if this ring continues to pull over towards Overlook.
Yeah, they're keeping that pressure on, and Survive Noodles not allowing any movement here. It is a bit of a... It is such a weird spot to be in, because, right? Because, like, on the one hand, you've got really good, you know, sight lines on everything, but at the same time, that means everybody has sight lines on you if you pop out. So they have to play this very carefully, and you can see they are checking all areas at all times to make sure that nobody is able to get some poke on them where they're not looking.
Really good stuff from them, and so much ammunition to be able to keep this going, especially with Willie wielding this 30-30. The ammo efficiency on this gun is crazy, and their game plan really does become evident when you look at what they elected to pick up early on. It has worked out so far, but this is another one of those things they have to be worried about, a lot like Nerf in the back. Isolating yourself up top means that you can't pick up shields no more, where Unlucky are picking up so much by just taking on squad after squad. They're exposing themselves to risk, but it does not seem to matter as they wipe yet another team and send themselves forward. Now 6 kills under their belt. That's 6 points that stay whether they die or not.
Absolutely, and they may have some more on their plate here, as Somebody is going to have to sit back and heal up for a second. Hopefully they can keep the pressure on while he does so. Honestly, though, Team Unlucky, they recognized, hey, you know what? Let's just play aggro. Let's keep pressure on Nerf and make them play our game. They have to keep the same tempo if they want to win, or they have to make sure that we get knocked out. And right now, Team Unlucky are running extremely strong. Look at the loot they have. Look at the shields they have. Trippin' are definitely not in an advantageous position, despite the fact that they've got a better advantage in their positioning.
This is a good position theoretically, but because you're next to Unlucky, it hurts to watch. And oh, this hurts to watch as well. Sriracha are really not feeling too good. Slater, however, seems to be feeling quite nice as, oh my lord, Trippin are full sending it on to Unlucky. Somehow they've become unlocked in a squad that has been so quiet all day. Might just take out one of our favorites, might just take out one of our top 3. They've got those 6 points. That might be all that they get. Prodigy Aces does win the 1v1, but income critical condition and rivalries to finish off him.
Absolutely now, and we can see just these fights happening. Remember that this is not far off from where the rest of those teams are, so this could turn into more Trippin able to just heal themselves up and get some really nice shields, as Sriracha simply is just gonna try and hang out on the edge as long as possible.
That's just Trippin collecting even more KP. They're already here. You know that this fight went down, but unfortunately, there's just not much you can do about it. A really nice shot out of the sky from Zenabu will end up at least dealing the initial damage, but this is a very, very sticky situation to be in, and not one that I expect you'll be able to get out of to simply Trippin completely control this side of the ring, and with a little bit of assistance as well from Cyber, you're starting to chew through this squad. Arsenic now completely down and out. Trippin, after wiping Unlucky, may have just found themselves a whole bunch of riches in the form of kills.
Absolutely here, and now you can see more fights happening in here. Just a quick fight. Nerf now looking to try and third party here.
But they need these resources. Lazarus are right on their tails, though. We saw them zipping up to the high ground, and the third party could be incoming. Nerf have to clean this one up quickly, and they do so. The caustic gas helping out as the shots rain in from above. That's 3 additional KP. One can only imagine over to Nerf. Despite the fact that we've only got the 1 kill for Messiah and so much loot as well. I was worried about this team sitting with the ring at their backs, but the third party couldn't have come at a better time.
Absolutely, they still need to get Arsenic back up, but so far, I mean, it is a positive trajectory, right? You get one person back up at least, and you're still alive. But really, it is, what are you gonna be able to do to get yourself still going in that positive trajectory? Because you look around at the other teams that are out and around you, there are purple and red shields. They're fully looted and kitted up. You can see this flatline is all ready to go. It is really difficult to try and get yourself back in this game unless you wait for that third party and try not to get seen going into that.
And even then, with the loot that they have, it is, man,
It's
such
still
an
an uphill
uphill
battle.
battle. Exactly. Yeah. It's such a big problem for them. But the placements are something they can rely on. We're down to our top 7 squads, and only 20 folks remaining. Everybody else is going to be a full team. You play this one conservatively. You let teams like Unorganized do their thing. Take these aggressive fights. As, oh my lord, the value on this Gibraltar ultimate is insane. I'm surprised it doesn't get a knock straight up. But this will. Moving up here with
stick.
the bubble. A stick does come in. Luckface Killa not going to be able to walk in with that one, but still, 6 kills for the team. And ultimately, finding the knock with the defensive bombardment will be more than enough. Him and his team quite happy and on the high ground.
Absolutely here, as you can see, they do have the ability to get some sight lines down into Fragment, but they can't just keep their eyes down there, because here comes Nerf!
Oh my god, what are they doing? Just full sending it onto the high ground off of the jump tower, somehow taking almost no damage on the way in. These guys don't even have to take a fight, but Nerf instantly claimed the highest of high ground inside of the next ring, with Unorganized having to give so much of their own position and eating ring damage on the way out as well. Bubble, maybe the only thing in between them and Nerf, and Psycho sees it inside of the void. Oh, Kraber not quite turning the tide of battle means that Nerf gets the chance to stay alive. And this dome, the one thing that keeps Unorganized on the high ground, may also be the thing that ultimately kills them, as it forces them to stay up
One
here.
down.
And now they're getting full sentons. It is going to be Nerf coming in, but Unorganized do end up going down, while Splash try desperately to find kills onto the height and are quite unable to.
Yeah, and there you see We The People does get the bleed out there, so Nerf do get some kills for themselves. Only 2, though, as opposed to the 3 that they would really like to get here. 5 squads left here.
That was a tough situation.
Yeah, 5 squads left here, and you can see, once again, an open ring. There is extremely little cover for these 5 squads. And if we could see where the ring is going to pull towards, see which of these teams really needs to try and move around.
Now this is going to be a very tight
just
final
going.
circle, one that, oh my lord,
Okay.
is really swingy, but a nice precision play from Nerf does at least clear out their sides. We saw a duo change things up last game. Well, this time, at least the solo will not be able to do the same thing. Taking a look at the height. I love shots like this. We have got Nerf, of course, in the power position. Lazarus opposite them, and those are your big titans. Wizard Coin and the squad in the center. It's going to be ultimately rejects. Already a winners of one game today that are holding right in the center and off to the side. Irish is going to be trying to pilot Sri Russia to the W.
Absolutely, and I want to know also just how many kills Lazarus have here. It does not seem to be any, and that's really unfortunate, because remember, they were down about 12 points that they needed to pull ahead of both Unlucky and Nerf. So Lazarus, unfortunately do not seem to be getting the kind of game that they need. I feel like they need to get Nerf out now, and they need to take out the rest of this lobby if they want to have a chance to win.
Yeah, they gotta really farm up the damage quickly, and more than that, get themselves the kills to at least be able to put themselves in second place, walk away with those $300. But even the placements continue to favor them. Now only 6 KP left, though. This is going to be a very difficult time to be a Lazarus fan. They gotta take out Nerf, and they gotta do it now, because if Nerf make it to second place, there is no chance that Lazarus come out on top.
Absolutely, it is really an uphill battle for them, and they need to make some kind of movement now, but it's just really what kind of movement can you make? It's not going to get any easier. 3 squads left now, Rejects, Nerf, and Lazarus. This is basically just up to Nerf. They should be able to pull this one out. If Nerf win this, it is pretty much guaranteed that they are the champions for today, but Lazarus, they don't want to go home with nothing. They want to try and at least get into that maybe second place spot by getting some more points.
Good thing is that Lazarus do have a position where Nerf are actually the more besieged team. With Rejects having angles on Nerf and not any members of Lazarus, it is Nerf that are slowly bleeding out, and it may just be that Rejects are able to capitalize on this as well. They don't get the cracks, but they do see the dome, and a defensive bombardment would put an end to all of the shenanigans on the height, potentially taking out We the People, even as he ends up healing. There comes the defensive bombardment. No safety outside of this rock, and People just get melted from the sky. Nerf are looking like they're gonna go out in third place, and that last defensive bombardment shot really does seal the deal. It's Rejects versus Lazarus for our final 3v3 of the winter.
Absolutely now, and Lazarus, they have to be pretty happy about that. They should be able to win this. They have the better loot. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Oh my
Mastiff
God.
is good. It's a good weapon.
Tank just goes off right there as well. Defeated is down. They've got the bubble safety. Lazarus, this is academic for them. They've done it so many times before. This is the professional team that you call in when times get tough, and they end up taking the very last victory of the day.